In this video, we will be discussing physical and chemical changes in matter. As you know, we have been learning about chemistry and elements. By now, you should know the difference between an element and a compound. You should know that the periodic table is where all elements are found, and it's broken up into metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. And you should know that there are common elements found in the Earth's crust, atmosphere, living matter, and oceans. Now we're going to be talking about physical and chemical changes in matter. Let's start by talking about what a change is. A change is to go from one form to another. That change can be chemical or physical. But to truly understand what a change is, first you have to understand the term properties. Properties. Properties are the characteristics, traits, or features of an object. For example, let's use an example using Miss Duncan. This is a picture of Miss Duncan. Imagine that you're a new student to Lewis Middle and you're trying to find Miss Duncan. You ask another student, "Where can I find Miss Duncan? Can you describe her physical properties to me?" They would tell you, "Okay, Miss Duncan is brown skin with black hair and she's wearing a green shirt. Those are my physical properties. Those are my properties. Or my characteristics, or my traits, or features. You can physically see that I have black hair, that I have a green shirt, that I am brown skin." In alternate, if someone was to tell you to look for Miss Duncan by looking for a tall, white-skinned, blonde man, would those characteristics or would those properties match Miss Duncan? No, they would not. So our properties are going to be our characteristics, our traits, or our features, and everything has properties. Physical properties are something that all objects have. So we're using Miss Duncan as an example here, but elements, matter, they all have properties. Let's use another example. How do you know a change has happened? You're going to look to see, did the properties change? And we know that properties are features, traits, characteristics. And did the substance become something else? Here's that second example. A physical change. A change that is expected. It can be reversed or it can go back to how it was before. Properties of the object does not change. So here on the left, we have a piece of lined paper. What are the properties? It's square, it's white with blue lines, has a red line, and has 3 holes. Now, if I take that same piece of paper and I ball it up into a wad, what was the change expected? Yes, it was. So, yes, the change was expected. I balled up the paper and it did what I expected it to do. Can it be reversed? Can I make this balled up paper turn back into this lined paper? Yes, I can. I can simply straighten it out. Did the properties change? So did the characteristics or traits change? Let's see. Is it still square? No, but we can make it square again. Is it still white with blue lines? Yes. Does it still have a red line? Yes. Does it still have 3 holes? Yes. Is it still paper? Yes, it is. This would be the same thing even if we ripped this paper into 10 pieces. Is it still paper? Yes. Can we make it back into a square? Yes, we could tape it or glue it back together. Does it still have blue lines and a red line? Yes. Does it still have 3 holes? Yes. So this would be an example of a physical change. It is expected, it can be reversed, and the properties did not change. Another example is when you cut your hair. On the left, we have a short brown haircut. The properties are the hair is brown, it's stringy. Now we have on the right, eventually, when you cut your hair, we know that it's eventually going to grow back. Was the change expected? If we cut our hair, do we expect it to grow back? Yes, we do. Can it be reversed? Yes, if I cut my hair, eventually it will grow back, so it will reverse. Did the properties change? Let's see. Is it still brown? Yes. Is it still stringy? Yes. Is it still hair? Yes. So this change is a physical change. Was it expected? Yes. Can it be reversed? Yes. Are the properties, did the properties not change? Yes. Okay, so the properties are still the same. The properties did not change. Next, we're going to talk about chemical changes. Chemical changes, a change that is unexpected. So it is unexpected, and this change is unexpected. It cannot be reversed. The properties of an object changes or a new substance is formed. Here we have that piece of paper again. We have this piece of paper here on the left. We know that the properties are square, white with blue and red lines, and it has 3 holes. If I was to set this paper on fire, we're going to see what happens. Is the change expected? Yes, in this case it is. But can it be reversed? If I set this paper on fire, can I reverse it and make it go back to this paper here? No, I cannot. Once I burn that paper, it's no longer going to be paper. It's going to be ash. So did the properties change? Yes. Is it still square? No. Can we make it go back into a square? No. Is it still white with blue lines? No. It's going to be, once it's completely burned, it's going to now be brown ash. Is it still going to have red lines? No. Those are going to be burnt away. Is it still going to have 3 holes? No. Is it still going to be paper? No. Now it's going to be ash. It cannot go back to this paper form. No matter what I do, I cannot tape the ash together. I cannot glue it together. I cannot turn it back into this white sheet of line paper. This is an example of a chemical change. A new substance has formed. That new substance is ash. Another example we have is when you're baking a cake. Here you can see we have multiple ingredients and they all have their own properties. So sugar is white and grainy. We have nuts, they're brown and hard. We have eggs that are yolky. We have butter that's creamy. You're going to take all these ingredients and you're going to mix them in together. Once you put that batter into the oven, can I take it out after after the batter has been in the oven for an hour? Can I take it out and say, man, I want my eggs back? No, you cannot. Is the change expected? This is going to change. It's going to bake into a new substance. Can it be reversed? No, it cannot. I cannot take this cake and reach my hand in and say, I want my butter back. I want my egg back. I want my sugar back. I cannot make it go back to these individual ingredients. Did the properties change? Yes. It's no longer grainy and creamy and white and brittle. It's no longer those individual properties. Now it's a new substance. It's a cake. So the biggest thing to remember is that it cannot be reversed. This cannot be undone. It's changed into a new substance. That new substance is cake. So it's no longer eggs, milk, sugar, cream. Now it's cake, a new substance. That concludes our chemical versus physical changes. I hope this, along with the Brain Pop video, helped you and gave you a clearer understanding of chemical and physical changes.